everyone. I'm just sitting out on my patio, and yes, I have ice in my white wine because it's kind of hot. But I wanted to do a quick video for you, for my readers. At first, I was trying to think what I wanted to do this video on. I'm not much of a video blogger kind of thing, but I thought I'd give a shot doing some. What I want to talk about, though, is I want to share, this is my recent collection of poems. This is my selected poems from 1999 to 2009, titled WordShapes, and I just released it on Amazon. The reason it took me so long to release it is because largely just waiting for formatting. Formatting was a pain in the ass for many years, and I just getting it in order, and I always had something else I was working on, and releasing a prose book is a lot faster, etc., etc. So, but I've always wanted to release this, and so what I'm trying to promote is this paperback that Amazon has published for me. I mean, this doesn't have the watermark on it, but it is really nice, I must say. And I would encourage anyone who is interested in making the purchase to actually purchase the paperback over the ebook. Even though I make more money off the ebook, I am someone who prefers having paper hardback copies or physical copies of poetry books, because for me personally, I never read a poetry book cover to cover. I go and skip around. I make little notes, notations, etc. And that to me is what's works. And so I would encourage readers to purchase this really nice collection. The cover is that of Claude Monet's 1873 painting, Wild Poppies. And the reason I chose this as the cover is because it's the first poem in this collection. And there's a total of 144 poems. I'm going to put a link below if you are interested. And for those readers who, let's say if you're unable to afford it, if you want to just send me a message and I can send you a document if you would like to review it, that's fine. But as I note in the introduction, these poems are 10 years worth of work. It's not all I did in that 10 years, but obviously, but they have a wide array of growth, of oddities, of early poems, and I just wanted to, I pretty much included things, all the poems that to me either meant something or were my better ones or just were odd and kind of interesting or just odd and weird, and I'm like, hey, I'm just going to put that in there, what the hell. So that's what I want to talk about. I was thinking about reading a poem for you, and I probably will in time, but I think that would make this video a little too long. But to give you a little bit more of a background of what I'm working on is I'm currently working on the third novel in my India trilogy. The first book was titled Trinket Master, and the second book is titled Pandu Season, and this one is titled Still Amid the Lotus. And it involves characters from the first two books as well as the last novel I wrote in 2017. Some of those characters. And in case you are wondering, I have not released any novels or any works of mine that were written past 2010. And people are probably like, well, why aren't you releasing anything that you've written in the past 8 years? And, largely I'm holding on to those. They're still holding out for maybe a bigger publisher to come along or whatever. That way I have my best work available. But I am releasing thus far and will continue to release mature early work. So thus far I've done Quick with Flies. I wrote that in 2004. The Winky Tales is sort of not a continuation of it, but it's kind of a PG-13 version of that. It involves one of the characters in Quick with Flies who has his own story. And I have a novella, The Architecture of Loss. It's an intense novella. That was when I was starting to really trying to get into real psychological drama, and that's one of my favorite early works, actually. I really enjoy that novella. And then Human Stuff is also a novel I wrote in 2009, and that actually has a lot of humor and also other things I wanted to say was my future plans for this next year involve, in addition to working on my own, my novel that I'm currently working on now, is I plan to release another early collection of short stories, and possibly, likely that I will release one of the novels I wrote based on my Selfhood series. They're a series of 3 books that are based on my life, a female character. If you're wondering, why does she always write from male points of view? I don't, actually. I have plenty of female characters. It's just many of them haven't been released, or also, the thing is, one of the things people don't know is when I go back and I have to look at an early book, I'm really intense perfectionist, and I will go back and I have to make sure it looks good, and just going back and just looking at my younger stuff, and and I want to make sure it's something that I'll stand behind. So there's some work that goes into that. It's not a lot, but just I have to be satisfied. So anyhow, that's what I'm doing right now. So as I said, WordShapes, selected poems, 1999 to 2009. You can see on Amazon, you can flip through some of the samples, the poem samples. I will be also sharing some of my past readings I've done online on YouTube, and also I will be uploading other videos where I'm going to randomly be reading poems from this collection, just to give you an idea. But I appreciate your readership, and that's all I have for now. So I really like this book. I think it's just so pretty, so I always just like it. Anyway, I will talk to you soon. Thank you for listening. Bye.